Hi friend, I'm Walker and welcome back to All About Polish, where I take you behind the scenes running my small business nail polish company. Today, I'm so excited to walk through the colors that made up our August and September releases, our fall release. This is Cultivate Part 1 and Part 2. I'm putting them all together in one video because I'm just restarting this channel, reviving it from its slumber, and I'm excited to chat with you about these colors. So the theme that I really wanted to explore and kind of bring to life this season is this idea of kind of growth and what does growth mean? It's a question that I've really been thinking about a lot myself as I'm in this, what feels like a new phase of my life. I'm a mom, but I'm not a brand new mom anymore. And I'm now a full-time business owner. This is what I do full-time. It just feels like I'm settling into this like new phase of my life. And yet I've also been thinking about how so many of the experiences and the things that I did, before becoming a mom, before starting this business, are showing up for me in this new phase of my life. And so I've really been loving this idea of growth as kind of cultivation, as like picking the best parts of yourself and carrying them forward and cultivating them into this like something new. I really love that. So the three new colors that came out between the August and September bundles are Spark, Kindle, and Evolve. I love all three of these, and some of you picked up on this. They tell a little story just in themselves, a little story of cultivation and growth. So Spark was the first one that came out. It's kind of this spark of a new idea, spark of a new phase, like something beginning is what that tells me. And then Kindle is about like cultivating that spark, helping it grow, making it stronger, and Evolve is like stepping into this new version of yourself. So these three together kind of tell that little arc of cultivation, which I love. I also love each of these shades individually. So Spark is a red, which is my most requested color because it's my least popular color, or like least populous. It's the one I have the least of in my line. But it's in the same formula as Raindrop, which is one of my best-selling colors of all time. I call it a scattered holographic cream formula. So it's a creamy base. It's going to work very similar to a cream on your nails, but then it has this like smattering of scattered holographic glitter. And so it's subtle. It's not a blind you in your face linear hollow, but it's going to give you a little bit of that sparkle, like when you get it in the light. Even in dim light, you get a little bit of that sparkle. It's almost like a sparkle that's just for you, right? It's not for being flashy to the world, which, hey, I love those too, but this one's a little bit more on the subtle side. I personally adore this. We know I love my creams, and I love my creams with a little something extra. And then the second new color this season was Kindle. This is a classic fall red cream. It's nice and deep and dark and beautiful. I kind of think the reason why I don't wear reds that often is actually because when I first started painting my nails at home, I found reds a little tricky to work with. They kind of tended to pool, and then if you tried to clean up your cuticle, they would stain your cuticle, and I just found them kind of annoying, honestly, and so I shifted away from them. I do enjoy wearing red, but they tended to not be colors that I gravitated towards because I found them hard to work with. So I'm really proud of this formula. I think you're gonna love it. It still has that like classic red texture. It's going to look really juicy and lovely on your nails, but I find it a little bit easier to work with, especially if you kind of follow my tips and you try to use really nice thin coats. It's going to build up beautifully in two coats, but it's not going to be like super finicky to work with, which I think is really important. Okay, and then I don't always have a topper in my collections, but when I do, it's because I am truly obsessed with them. This is Evolve. Evolve is a copper glitter shimmer topper. So the pieces in here, it's a mix of a very, very fine glitter that is more like a shimmer, and then it's not quite a medium size, it's still pretty small, but it kind of gives you those like visible particles on your nails. I love it over Kindle, but I'm also going to show you a little clip here from Denise, who's my incredible community engagement manager, showing it over a couple other colors. And this one, I'm obsessed with it. I feel like the copper is like the metallic for fall. It looks so good over any fall color. The glitter in here is also incredible. It is the only glitter in the world that is certified biodegradable in freshwater environments. So the goal of the company that produces this glitter is to have fewer microplastics end up in the ocean, where they just like hang around forever and accumulate in the water, in sea life, etc. And so this glitter is plant-based. It's made from a cellulose core. I believe it's mostly derived from eucalyptus. And then it's certified plastic-free in the EU, and it's certified biodegradable in freshwater environments. And so I'm really proud of being able to use this glitter in this polish. I think it's really, really beautiful. It's really beautiful, and it just carries this really beautiful message. So love this polish. I want to wear it on everything this season. Truly obsessed. Okay, let's talk about the creams that came back in the August bundle. So speaking of looking really good with the topper, I feel like you could put Evolve on all three of these and they would be just absolutely stunning. I'm wearing my Cerulean jumpsuit today. I feel like I found this at the thrift store and knew I had to bring it home because I love the color. Cerulean was in the Pigment collection originally, so I think it released in 2022. It released in 2022 in the Pigment collection. It's kind of your like go-to denim blue for fall. It has this like really beautiful richness to it, so it's not quite as like gray as a denim. It's a little bit more blue, but I adore this color so much, and I think you will too if you haven't tried it yet. This one I brought back just mostly in this first collection some of my like best-selling fall colors of all time, right? This idea of like cultivating the best of you and bringing it forward, and so I think this one kind of represents that for me, of that cultivation theme. Similarly, in August we brought back Olive. This is one that I just kind of feel like I can never not have active in my collection. Like it needs to come back every year if it sells out, because I just need an olive green. I feel like it's kind of like who I am as a person. I need to have an olive green. And I have three actually now with this one coming back. We have Olive, which is our kind of cream take on olive green. We have Wild, which is a shimmer take on olive green. And we have Emerald, which is our scatter holographic take on kind of that mossy fall green. So really you could just wear like mossy olive greens all season if you wanted to, and we've got you covered. But Olive is our classic cream formula. Okay, and then the final cream that came back in the August drop was Patterson. This one was a very popular one, but I also brought it back because this year my parents are putting up for sale, depending on when this video actually ends up going live, it'll be just a couple days after this that their listing goes live, the house that I spent most of my childhood in. And this polish was inspired by the Japanese maple tree that was in our front yard. It just turns these absolutely stunning colors every season, and it just kind of like when I close my eyes and picture that house, that tree is outside of it in this like beautiful red color. So this one came back because I think there's something about selling your childhood home that really speaks to this idea of like, what are you bringing with you into each new phase of your life? Like, how does, you know, the previous life you lived, the previous version of yourself, how does that show up in who you are now? And so to me, this color, because of its inspiration, just had to come back. It is also one of our best-selling fall colors, so also works, you know, in that less personal rationale for bringing it back. But yeah, this one holds a very special place in my heart. Next, we have two that came back in the September bundle. So all of these are available now because I'm a little late getting my video up. This is Pigment. This was the fastest selling color that I think I've ever released. I was shocked. This one was the first to sell out when it released in its collection, and truly was the fastest selling color that I've ever had. It sold out faster than anything else that I've ever launched. I decided to bring this one back in September, not just because it is absolutely stunning, which it is, but also because I like this idea of, so it's titled Pigment. The collection that it came out in was all inspired by different like natural pigments and dyes, but I also love the idea of pigment being kind of the thing that is left behind when you literally leave your mark on a piece of paper, right? If you're using a pen or paint or something to leave your mark, you are literally leaving behind, like depositing the pigment, and that is what is carried forward to create your artwork or your writing or whatever it is you're creating. And so I love that contribution to this collection and this idea of like literally what are the marks that are left on us from all of our different experiences and who we are as a person and how do we carry those forward. So yeah, getting a little sentimental here, but I really like this connection to the theme. Similarly, the last polish in this collection is Garnet. This one is, it came out originally in a collection that was all inspired by my son and kind of becoming a new mom. This was the first collection that I designed after he was born. And this one is Garnet. It's inspired by his birthstone. He was born in January. He's a January baby. And because there's this piece of my life now where I'm a mom, but it's starting to feel less and less like that's my whole identity. Like in the first year that he was born, it was the only thing I could think about, right? It was like so overwhelming in all good ways and intense ways. And now it's starting to feel like a piece of who I am, right? I am a mom, I am a business owner, I am a wife, I am a friend, I am an athlete, I'm all these different things. I'm a reader, I'm a daughter, you know, but it's still such an important part of my life. And so figuring out, you know, who am I as a mom and how does how I show up as a mom, how is that influenced by all the experiences that I've had and who I am as a person. And I'm still myself, but I'm this new version of myself, right? This was the connection for me with bringing this polish back, was just wanting to have a nod to this idea of like becoming a parent and how it changes you and how it shows up for you. But I love the colors, so if the emotional backstory doesn't resonate with you, I think you'll love these colors because they're all stunning. And if it does resonate with you, I'd love to hear from you. All these colors are available now. Like I said, I'm a little behind in getting my video up, but they're all available now, so I'll link them down below. And if you have any questions or if there's anything you want me to chat more about in a future video, please let me know. Let me know which one is your favorite. And as always, thank you so much for being here. I will see you in the next one.